Hello everybody, Smith here, welcome back to some more City Skylines, and welcome back to our little city of San Anvíl. Not so little anymore. Last time we finished off this last little section of our city centre, so that is now, pretty much complete. I have been having some ideas, because we've got this high commercial demand, and if we want to go sort of any further really past the 70,000 mark once we hit that little population milestone, then we are going to have to think about, I think, like another major-ish centre of population. Nothing too big, but probably something in this vicinity, just to just to take the edge off that demand a little bit. We have been getting worker issues. Between episodes, I had an idea. I don't know why the district label isn't showing up there. What I think I'm going to do is I am going to make this, where is it, an Industry 4.0 zone, which means these lowly educated jobs are replaced with jobs for highly educated people. And now, instead of not enough workers, we have not enough educated workers. That I'm more confident that will sort itself out than the lack of workers problem, which is starting to cause a few problems over here. Hopefully, though, there's one there. The uneducated workers who are previously working here will now pile into other occupations. This is causing a bit of a knock-on effect. This happened last time I did an Industry 4.0 upgrade with my agricultural district. It did sort itself out eventually. Not enough customers. I mean, you've got plenty of people in and around there. Look at some of these buildings, all fully upgraded. That is absolutely beautiful. It's like the little jewel in the crown of my city, that. How's everything else doing? Yeah, not too bad. I mean, we've got some... Oh, some of these are fully upgraded now. This one is currently upgrading. Oh, well, that one's fully upgraded. Yeah, so we are getting some pretty nice buildings in there. None of these offices fully upgraded. What do you need? It needs to be covered by more services. Something for us to think about. We did go through and give our education a little bit of a boost last time. Are there any policies that could help us with... there's normally kind of like a little policy you can put in. Education boost. Don't apply that to the entire city at once, though. I'm not sure. Especially given we are having worker shortages in some of the areas where we do have lower education workers. Now might not be the time for that. Oh God. Yeah, as I said, I'm pretty confident this will gradually sort itself out. Gradually. Anyway, yes, but we are getting ever closer. Oh, just as I've been speaking, we've ticked over the 68,000 population mark. Yeah, we do still have, I think, some residential stuff, some residential zones marked out which haven't developed yet in our little suburb here and in this section of our city centre. So that's obviously absorbing the demand as it comes in. I was tempted to actually put down some more industrial, but given that they're currently suffering from a worker shortage over here, I'm not sure that would be a great idea. They do now have this little metro station, though, so that should help with things. One thing I did notice before I started recording, this is a bit of a dead end. There's a little way to walk to this little cut through, so I want to just get, if I can turn off road guidelines, turn off grid. Let's get a path going across there like that. Oh God. Yeah, more places going abandoned. we are seeing some commercial demand again. How is our education level doing? 84, 68. I think that's dropped down. That might be because we're getting new citizens into our city. That does always drop the education rate, because they always enter the city uneducated, and you just have to educate them up. But it's approaching some semblance of some stage of completeness. But there is something I want to do before we kind of get to that stage. I want to put in an airport, because we need that for one of our unique buildings that will allow us to put one of the monuments in once we reach once we reach 70,000 population. So I need to sort of work out, I'm going to flatten this hill down a bit. I just need to work out what sort of level we're going to flatten it to. Maybe about, no, there. And as I discovered last time, you can actually landscape outside your city's perimeter. And that should be enough for us to put an airport in. Yeah. And to service that, we are going to have a road coming off. Let's put you all back on. I'm just going to bring you off there for the moment. It's just a simple airport for the time being. This is going to be replaced. How big do I need it actually? Are you going to let me... It doesn't have to be... Let's bring you a little further along. Maybe a little further. And then I think we can start to do some sort... Yeah, just a little turnaround like that. And let's see if that is sufficient. Yes, and just within city centre limits. Now we're just going to have to go check, see if this... sort of make sure this roundabout is set up correctly. All the lane arrows are as I normally have them. Yeah. There will be a few people sort of coming up here and then just turning around. But let's get rid of the log right over the access road there. And of course we are going to want water to come up to this, as well as some electricity. Let's just bring something across there like that. And then we'll hook you in there like that. And has that... Yes. So we now have an airport. Why have I put an airport in there when I've said I'm going to replace that with something else a little bit later? Well, as our city gets close... How's our population doing? 68,500. We seem to have flatlined a bit just for the moment. But this will give us a new unique building. Is it the last one? No, it's not that one. It's the Eden Project. Science Centre. Here we go. Grand Mall. People always like to shop. Tourists even more so. Why not have a mall when you have more of them coming in? Requirement for building the space elevator. The space elevator which we do want to get. This, however, is going to require a lot of space. It's got... What's the... The noise radius isn't actually that bad. Where we could fit... I want to put it in like our main commercial area, because it just seems like it is sort of a centre of all things shopping, so that just seems the most appropriate. We will lose a lot of commercial buildings right where our commercial demand is. Oh, they're saying that other demands are actually coming up to meet it now. Yeah, I'm going to put something in here. Just excuse me, everybody. That, yeah, that actually nudges up nicely against our little plaza there. And then if we just bring down a road as far as we can, zone back in any high density commercial we may have lost. Let's take road guidelines, sodding road guidelines. Let's take a road. I'm assuming they can now just use that to access the plaza, but yeah. But that is that. I think that is all the requirements for the for our space elevator done. I don't think I'm going to be able to sort of stick that down the moment we reach the 70,000 mark, but it's there waiting. It is there waiting. Yeah, look at that. The education levels for these at elementary school level is improving. At high school level is diabolical. At university level, well, that should improve. These are all much newer zones than some of the other ones. All the ones... Oh, some of these aren't getting a proper education. Everybody's getting... You're not getting a decent high school education. Again, it's a relatively new zone. There's a bit of a mix there. Yeah. I think as we just let time go on, we will see that education level rising. Bit of a fire here. This is kind of semi-covered by two separate smaller fire stations. So we should get fire trucks coming in very shortly. Or at least the one. We are getting upgrading here, which is good to see. 68,700, nearly at that 69,000 mark. What else? Because we are kind of just waiting for this thing to hit the 70,000 mark now. So we've just sort of got to tidy up around the edges while we're waiting for it, and then that will be this bit of the city done. I think should we start putting in the my usual thing, the path we normally do? Let's start putting in our usual path. We'll put you up to there, and you can come all the way down to there. Likewise over the other side. Right. Now there's a handy little cut through there. So that will be used. I think we are going to demolish that little place there with regret. Buy new land. I know there's a new piece of land available. Bring you out to here. And a path up to there. Grid. Bring a path up there. Up there. That should start it nicely. Over here. We'll demolish that because I will want a path coming out. Let's do road guidelines. Bring you out to there. Pop you in there. That's demolished some power lines. Are you two now kind of isolated from each other? There must be some more power lines. You come up there. You come up there. So that's... Yes. They're not isolated from each other. In fact, we can actually demolish this power line now. That was just there for when I was starting to build this little section here. What was I doing? I was sort of concentrating on building this little bit first, wasn't I? Let's bring a path across there. This I can't really do it as I would as I've done on my other roundabouts here, because the angle between that road and that road is kind of a little too big. But if we bring with road guidelines off, bring something up here. Then something up there. Then we're going to want to see where there are some more opportune moments for us to bring a path through. I think that's looking like a likely candidate. You can see where we've got, yeah, people already starting to use this. Down here, there's just like the two destinations, and you can walk along there anyway. But we are going to have bridges across, so that will lead to more people using this. In fact, yeah, it's just a handful using it at the moment. What do we want to demolish here then? What do we want to take out? Let's go for you. Let's do it roughly, yeah, in the same place. Let's take you out as well. Let's get a couple of the road bridges put in. So we want to bring you out like that. And over here. Pause it. I want to demolish these so we can actually see the grid. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You come up to there. Lovely stuff. Demolish you so we can actually see the grid again. And likewise, you are going to come out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm going to have to think about how we tie this in, because normally I have something coming down here. That's not quite going to work. I will have a think about this. This is going to be a little more difficult. I mean, not over here. Over here it's going to be relatively simple. 1, 2, 3. Over here, what the hell are we going to do? We are going to get rid of that so we do get the zoning squares. 1, 2, 3. That's basically where we have it on the other side. I think I will allow that to be demolished. And then, what's that? 3, 4, 5. Need to demolish that to get the grid back. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we haven't quite managed to tie this in as we would normally do, these bridges. But I think that is a start. And we'll improve pedestrian access. What do we want to do now? What do we want to do now? I could get started. Actually, I think I'm just going to leave that for a second. But the paths now actually are being used a fair bit, which is good to see. This one's being used, that one's being used. Fewer cars on the road. As a result, hopefully, yeah, people starting to use this bridge. People starting to use this bridge. I think once we tie the access in a bit better, the use will start to increase. I'm guessing you were due to worker education being too low. Yeah. Over here, do we still have... We still have... Oh, I demolished the wrong thing. Well, that's probably going to go abandoned because of lack of workers eventually anyway. Before we go today, I just want to conduct a quick experiment. Because much earlier on in this save, I did this bus line. This green bus line here. We also got the sort of the lime greeny metro line, which is sort of a little confusing, which goes all the way along around here. What I wanted that to be sort of a dual purpose line. I wanted it to sort of connect these two, this district with this district, but I also wanted it to act as something that transported people sort of at the fringes of each of these districts to their respective metro stations. I'm not sure how good an idea that has been. There's been a lot of jams around here which will have inevitably affected the efficacy of these. I'm just wondering whether it wouldn't have just been better to have two kind of figure-of-8 circuits in here, just taking people from the periphery and just to the metro station, so then they can take the metro station between the various suburbs, so between the districts. I'm kind of thinking that might be the better approach. So as an experiment, we are going to put in a new bus line. So one there. We'll come up here. Do we want to just double up with the stops? Or do we want separate stops just to make this so we can see, it's easier to see who's using which. I want you to come up here all the way along here. I mean, it's also going to be a transport option. People say, okay, so you're going to do a loop of this, come back at a different stop there, then head off on the next leg of this figure of 8. Ah, a bit of thunder going on there. How atmospheric. Carry on round here. Carry on round here. Round here. Round here. And back to drop people off at the metro station. So we are going to keep an eye on this. I have a feeling this is going to be very heavily subscribed. And in keeping with the colour schemes we've been going for, we're going to make this blue. A nice dark royal blue. So we are going to let that become established. See what's happening. See what's happening with the relative popularity. See what's happening about, you know, the people it's transporting. Ah, there they go. There they all go. And then see if we want to get rid of... Basically to see what tactic we want to use as we expand the bus network over here. Do we want to have the bus network basically just taking people around within the district and also ferrying them from within the district to their local metro stop? Or do we want it to be more complementary to the metro system? Kind of a tricky question to answer, but I think... What's your problem? No custom. I've never had that problem before in this area. I really do not know what that's about. But regardless... Oh, so close to the 69,000 mark. How are the residential zones doing around here? They are primed and ready to level up, but I've set this to be that kind of medium density zone. So they are not going to look. This, yeah. These residential areas here. This will slowly level up. I think, yeah, I think we've got enough. Once we do start all that leveling up, I think we have enough to get to our 70,000. Provided most of them don't burn down, of course. Hello. no lack of educated workers anymore. Huh. Well, that cleared up sooner than I thought it would. Oh, God. Still a bit of a worker problem over here with my industrial areas, which, I mean, the generic industry, that levels up and becomes sort of higher education jobs. But this, yeah, this is all 18 overeducated workers, 15 overeducated workers, 18. I'm going to have to sort of have a think about our industrial areas and the balance of them, educated to uneducated worker types, and think how it'd be best to go forward. Hang on. 68,977. Come on, I'm just going to increase the speed. 993, 987. Come on. 974. 980, 80. If I can speak properly. 67. 61. 62. 41. Oh, it's going down. 75. 72. 96. Oh, come on. Don't tease me like that. Yes, 69,000. Let's just pause it there, actually. So it can't drop down below it before I end the episode. Yeah, but we are out of time there. So we will... some various of the other problems we'll have to sort another day, and we will have to think about how we integrate these bridges in better. We'll have to get our little path network extended all the way along to here. I don't know if we're going to do anything similar over here. I mean, maybe along here where it can connect up all the little bits and maybe help people get across these roads. But, I mean, over here, a lot of the function of this path network is to connect people up to footbridges so they can cross over this without actually using the pedestrian crossings, make it a lot easier for them to get across where there are no pedestrian crossings. Yeah, just basically reduce the number of cars on the road. But anyway, I am waffling. So, yes, all tasks for another day. In the meantime, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.